Hi, so in this video, I'm going to be talking specifically about what super does. Super is a bit of a weird one, but anytime you see it, it essentially just refers to the parent class. Now, there are two big ways that super is used, and the first one is when you're calling a constructor, like in this terrarium, right? In the last video, I went step by step, but essentially right here, super is being used to call the parent's constructor, which is jar, because terrarium extends jar. It's calling the parent's constructor that uses a number, and string. And we can see in jar that we do have a number, string constructor. So it's going to call that constructor. It's going to do all that stuff. It's going to pass in these variables, and then it's going to run the rest of this function, which is the constructor, right? So when you have a constructor for a child class, it always runs the parent class's constructor first. Even if you don't say super, it still has to run it. But when you specify it with super, you can pass in variables to it, right? So you can have this passing variables into a constructor, and all that stuff. So the second way that you can do it is like we did in person and fancy person, right? So you can see that in fancy person, we inherited all of the functions from person, except we replaced accessorize. We said we're going to override this function, right? And we changed accessorize, right? So when I run this, it overrid it, right? We made a fancy person. Now instead, what we could do is we could say super dot accessorize. Watch this. I'm going to comment this out. This is very interesting. When I say super, it says go to the parents class and run its accessorize. Okay? Now I commented this out because it would do both, right? So it jumps over to here to person and runs this function. But watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I don't actually know if this will work. Can I do this? What if I do b.super.accessorize? I wonder if this will work. Ah, no, no, it won't. Anyway, those are the uses for super, right? Very useful, especially in the last project. Okay, and I'm gonna go over I think one more thing, or I guess like one and a half more things. But that's it for super.